Welcome back to the channel, guys. This week's episode is going to be pretty fun. What we are doing is we are going to be installing some Flow V5 bagger floorboards from Flow Motorsports on Sharkbait. And the cool part about these is they are like super aggressive. Let me explain why I'm pulling off the Thrash and Supply floorboards and putting the Flows on. So during last week's episode, while we were riding to the burger joint that we all went to, I kept noticing that my feet were like sliding off of the floorboards. And if you look on the Thrash and Supply floorboards, they do have a texture. I'm sorry, they're pretty dirty right now, but they have this texture on them, which is pretty aggressive. But with the specific riding boots that I have, it's not aggressive enough. So my feet were like doing this thing where the wind resistance on my feet were just kind of like pushing my feet off of them. That could mean that I drive too fast or I ride too fast, but that's crazy talk. I don't think that's it. So what I decided to do was to upgrade these to, well, not really an upgrade, but it is changing them up to the Flow Motorsports V5 bagger floorboards. Pretty excited about it. Let's get into it. All right, so as far as unboxing goes, I haven't even broke the seal yet. Oh yeah, these are awesome. See, they come kind of like zip tied together on this piece. Let's get them unpackaged. Oh, these are awesome. They feel very nice. They feel like they have a very high quality. I love it. So that's the right one. And this is the left one. Okay, so the next step to getting these installed on the bike is we're gonna be getting the motorcycle up on the lift. So that way they're nice and flat and level and I can get it up high. And I can sit on my nice shop stool while we do this. So let's do that. Okay, so the first step in removing floorboards from a bagger is going to be using a 3/16 Allen, and it goes right in here. Now they're only supposed to be torqued down to 8 foot-pounds, so we're gonna find out if the previous people who put these on here did that. Oh my goodness, it's so much easier to see now. Okay, yep, they did good. All right, so we got the old one off. Time to get the new one on. Okay, so here's the new one, right? Pretty nice, really aggressive tread pattern. My foot shouldn't slip on that. And the direction state to put these two wave washers stacked on top of each other right here on only the rear. So let's do that. Okay, so here's what I have found. I have found that with the Thrash and Supply floorboards, they physically thread into the other side of the bracket that's on the bottom that connects it, that connects it to these arms. These ones, one sec, these ones do not do that. These ones actually require their own nut on the end of the bolt after it goes through all the bracketry. So I am gonna have to either A, look in my vast, again, save all hardware, right? I'm gonna have to look for a nut that will work, that will actually fit inside of the other side of the bracket, or run to the hardware store and get me some. So stand by on that. All right, guys, so I just got back from the hardware store and I picked up some goodies that are gonna help me get these things installed. One of the things that I got were these 1/4x20 nylock nuts. And I chose these ones because sometimes Loctite just isn't enough, you know what I mean? So anyways, we're gonna put these washers on the hardware because there's this little tiny gap, and I don't know why it's this way, but on this one specifically, the spring washers or the wave washers aren't enough to keep it from slight movement. I don't know if these are aftermarket floorboard mounting brackets or what have you, but either way, we're gonna back it with some washers to give it some added rigidity. So let's do that. And again, anytime you're gonna do anything like this on something critical, and I would consider foot controls pretty damn critical, little blue Loctite goes a long way. Just about perfect on the tension. Okay, so there's one. Looking good. Let's go do the other side. Don't forget the Loctite. That's number 2.
Now, evidently, my cycloptic colleague informs me that that can't be done.
So let's take a look at it. So as you can tell, a heck of a lot more aggressive when it comes to grip. I'll show you the other ones. So here are the old ones. And while they are very nicely made, I just like these a little bit better. So if it wasn't currently snowing outside, I would immediately take shark bait out here and give you guys my first impressions. But I can't give you my first impressions outside of fit and finish and look due to the crazy ass weather we're having. So here they are. And my first impressions based solely off of fit and finish, I'm pretty impressed. It's a lot like the levers that I put on up here, if you guys remember those. Those are also flow. The other thing that I'm planning on doing with this modification is to either heavily modify or replace my brake pedal. That brake pedal is massive. Again, it's a very expensive brake pedal, and it's just the pedal itself, not even the lever, because it's a Thrash and Supply brake pad. So you're paying a little bit for that name and that, but with that name comes high quality stuff. That's the plans. And I'm also thinking that if that brake pedal is slightly smaller, it's gonna give my foot a little bit more room for the highway, the crash bar, the highway bar. So yeah, there you guys have it. Flow V5 bagger floorboards on shark bait. Let me know what you guys think. Now that I'm doing that, I realize how dirty it is. So let me clean it. Oh yeah, much better. But anyways, thank you guys again for stopping by, watching my videos on YouTube. Really do appreciate it. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below of these V5 bagger floorboards. And tell me what you guys got. There's so many different options out there for Harleys and Indians as well, and some other motorcycle manufacturers. But that's the cool part, is you can basically do whatever the hell you want to these things and have them be 100% custom and yours. So let me know what you guys think of these ones specifically and tell me what you guys went with. All right, real quick, this is future Brent in comparison to the current Brent that you were watching. I don't know how to explain that. So in editing the video, I wanted to make sure that I added this clip into it. For me right now, it's been about a week. I've had these floorboards, been riding around on them for an entire week, and I didn't want to finish this video until I gave you guys my actual first impressions of the floorboards. So let's talk about them. So I can only really compare these floorboards to the stock Harley bagger floorboards that I used to have on the Electroglide, the first bike that you guys saw me have on this channel, as well as compare them to the Thrash and Supply OG bagger floorboards, I think they were called, the ones that, you know, I took off. So my first impressions of them with actual experience on them is amazing. I love them. My feet, and again, like I mentioned at the beginning part of this video, is I wanted floorboards that my feet weren't being forced off of. Because at certain speeds, like I talked about, I literally felt my feet and the wind just push my feet and slide right off those floorboards. So I needed something more aggressive. And I could have gone with Thrash and Supply's Aggressor line floorboards, but I really liked the look of these Flow Motorsports floorboards. They match my levers, which I really like, and I really like the white on black lettering because it kind of goes with all the white on black accents that I already have on this motorcycle. So that's why I went with the Flows. They're different. You don't see them a lot. FXDLS Brooklyn has them on his 2025 Road Glide. I think it's a 2025 or it's a 2024. And I really like the look of them on his. But anyways, compare and contrast. Not only do they grip my feet better, but they are way lighter. And I really like the look of these ones a lot more. I like the shape, the overall profile. The Thrash and Supply ones just seemed a little bit too big. And if you remember back to the part of the video, their Aggressor ones, the ones with all the spikes, they are the same size as the OG floorboards, the ones that I pulled off. And if you remember when I lined them up, these Flows are actually way smaller. And I like that. They are just right. But anyways, the stickiness of them to your boot, I wanted to talk about before I signed off on this video. The way that they stick to your boot can actually be a negative, and let me explain that. So what I wanted was my feet not slipping off, like I said, and that definitely happened. When my boots are on these things, they are not moving, like at all. You can't even slide your foot on them. Like you can't do this on those floorboards, on these ones, which to me is exactly what I wanted, and I am super stoked. But if you are the type of rider that's really used to taking your left foot and sliding it up underneath the shift peg to shift and then sliding your foot back, these are not the floorboards for you, because once your feet are on these little spikes, you have to pick your foot up, move it, and put it back down, and then you can shift. So if that's gonna be a deal breaker for you, I'm not saying don't go with these ones, but if you feel like that's gonna be a deal breaker, it's something to keep in mind before you purchase these and put them on your bike. Me personally, the first time I went to go shift with these things, I tried to slide my foot forward to get under the shift peg and shift. I couldn't do it. I was like, oh wow, I had to pick my foot up. Okay, there we go. It took some getting used to, but to me it wasn't that big of a deal. I really, really enjoy these a lot. But yeah, so there you guys have it. Those are my first impressions of these floorboards. I'll keep you guys updated as I ride more and more. Just like I'll keep you updated on the crash bars and everything else that I put on it. Quick update on the headlights. So if you remember, if you haven't seen that video, feel free to go back and watch the Hogworks Sabertooth headlight install video. Little quick update on it. If you guys remember, I said that I was going to start off with those headlights pointed all the way down just to make sure I'm not blinding anyone. And then I was slowly gonna work them up to where I felt was the sweet spot. Well, the sweet spot for this bike on me is all the way up. It took me like three mornings of going to work, of just slowly picking them up until I was like, okay, but they're all the way up and I don't get flashed. I think I was like one person flashed me on high beams. So I showed them what real high beams were, and then I turned them off, and they were like, oh, okay. So just so you know, if you have them and you're on stock front suspension and stock rear suspension, all the way up is probably gonna be just fine. Math is hard. So there you have it. There's my Flow Motorsports floorboards. Loving every minute of it, guys. Let me know in the comment section below if you like this style, that motocross super aggressive style of floorboards, and what you guys went with. So yeah, I appreciate you guys stopping by. I appreciate you guys and all the engagement that you guys give me on the channel, all the likes, all the comments, the discussions that we've been having on this channel have been really good lately. I really do appreciate it. Feel free to subscribe if you are not already. See you guys on the next one. Take it easy.